Good afternoon/evening, everyone. It's too dark to really call it afternoon anymore these days, so I think we'll just roll with it.
I'm pretty sure it gets dark at, like 3 in the afternoon?
Gets dark pretty much as soon as I get out of bed, man.
Is that more of a metaphor for life in general? Or?
I'll leave that up to the listeners to decide.
Absolutely.
We're here to talk E3 because E3 has happened. And there's so much to talk about. It is absolutely ridiculous.
Still sort of happening, right?
Still sort of happening, yeah. The bulk of it
is still open. People are still walking around.
Yeah. There's crappy pizza still available to buy in the concourse in E3 apparently. But yeah, we know one person who went there. He seemed to have a good time.
I was going to refer to him as our E3 correspondent.
Absolutely
on the ground.
Absolutely.
He hasn't been doing a whole lot of corresponding.
I saw a good picture of him with a VR headset on, looking like a bit of a knob, and that was good. That was good. He looks to be having a blast.
I think that's all you need. From this year's E3, it seems to be the thing.
Yes, excellent. So we have had so many press conferences. How many have we had in total? 1, 2, 3,
7,
4, 5, 6. Close, including Nintendo. So that's. I mean, yeah. Well, let's just do it chronologically, right? I've got some points here that I was jotting down whilst watching most of these. The Ubisoft ones are longer because I was having a lot more fun writing than I was watching, to be honest. But we'll get to that a bit later on.
Yeah, let's just roll through them and
So let's talk EA. EA opened the show. We had old Andrew Wilson, the Australian, come out. His magnificent Bond villain persona that he has going on. He came out, sort of did his whole bollocks about play. We all like to play. Why don't you play? Why don't we play?
There were actually
you play.
A couple people
plugging Ubisoft.
Yeah, there were a couple people that mentioned play being the thing. Was it Sony?
No,
Microsoft with their Play Anywhere
program. We're big on Play.
Yeah,
the Play was a big. It wasn't experience this conference. It was Play. It wasn't content or experience. It was Play. EA had a bit of a good wank on about Play for a while there, and then they kicked into Titanfall 2. Titanfall DOS. So this looks really cool. I was super hyped about Titanfall, especially because it's coming to PlayStation 4 and I can actually play it this time.
Yeah, they downplayed that quite a bit.
They did,
Titanfall, PS2. Oh, PS2.
PS2.
We've downgraded it pretty heavily, so you can play it on your PS2. They were just like PS4. Yeah, and let's move in.
They're like, they just included it with the other ones, right? They're like, it's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And they're like, let's move on.
But they all sort of seemed to do that this year. There was no, aside from Microsoft, that just basically mentioned every exclusive game under the sun. Everyone else was just
only on Xbox One and Windows 10.
Every single thing.
It was almost everything, man. Craziness.
Titanfall 2, to be honest, because it was right at the beginning, I've sort of forgotten a lot of what happened in there.
The big thing is campaign this time. Yeah, because there was no campaign in the
first time. There was just it was just like bots first time. If you wanted
it was this
play,
weird kind of integration of campaign and multiplayer in the original. So you do the quote unquote campaign, but this is while you're playing multiplayer, and there'd be like a weird picture-in-picture thing that would interrupt and give you like story.
Oh.
It was a very
story
odd
that you couldn't listen to because you were in the middle of a firefight.
Yeah, you had like 1,000 bullets coming at you and the noise was ungodly and you couldn't hear anything. So it was a very odd decision on Respawn's behalf.
That was going to be a good deal.
But apparently, it looks like they've learned a lot, and Titanfall 2 looks really cool. It looks awesome. Just the, running on walls and all that sort of jazz.
Yeah.
They were the ones who started that gimmick off, the jetpacks and the running on walls in terms of this generation of shooters. And they're nailing it.
Cool.
I think it's doing really well.
Yeah.
Respawn Entertainment. We move into Mass Effect, which they showed sweet fuck all off.
Yeah, it was
still a lot more than before though, because at least this time it wasn't just air quotes, archived stock footage of real shuttle launch and stuff. There was some in-game shit shown.
EA had a good theme of footage of real people sitting at desks working on games, which I was not happy about. Who gives us?
So, sorry, developers, but we don't want to see you making the games. We just want the games.
If anything, it takes away from my experience of the game.
I don't want to know a person did this.
But we'll get to the Star Wars later on because wow. But the Mass Effect stuff, I think they showed probably a total of like 6 to 10 seconds of actual gameplay or like alpha or whatever.
Gameplay. Walking across different scapes.
It kind of annoys me because I was kind of like, a lot of these games were mentioned last year, a year ago, and I was thinking, cool, well,
we'll get something.
We should get something beefy. Not even like a date.
No, Mass Effect Andromeda seems to be quite a ways off.
Just to let you guys know, still happening.
Honestly, I'm fine with it still being a ways off, because it seems like this time they're not going the long space opera narrative route. They're focusing more on the exploring an entire galaxy route. And for that kind of route, they need to take all the fucking time in the world to get it done. So I'm not too fussed.
No, they can take their time. I'm not waiting on tenterhooks for it or anything like that. So it's all good. Keep going, BioWare. Keep chugging along.
Yeah, some people are looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm just not sort of like, where is it here yet kind of thing.
It's got to be the next.
I mean, I've never finished a Mass Effect game. I enjoyed what I played 1 and 2, but I've never finished one. That's just they're long games. Move into EA being charitable. I have written down here, which is their play to give scheme, which is.
I missed this whole part.
So what it is in-game tasks, challenges, so forth, that you can complete. So at first I thought it was, depending on if you completed them, they would donate money to charity. What I now think it is they're available and you can unlock special skins or what have you from doing these challenges. And then at the end, EA is just going to donate $1 million to this charity or these charities, kind of thing. I think the challenges are purely there just to involve the player and make them feel like they're a part of it.
Weird. It's sort of like,
it's really strange.
I was led. I kind of had a mixed halfway between what you've said impression of it. That they were adding these achievements and there were milestones. So every based on the total number of achievements hit by players, that would affect the total amount they were donating, and that was how the achievements were involved with the donation. That was the impression I got.
It's the Deus Ex pre-order all over again.
It feels weird to me. I feel like if you're donating money to charity, you should just donate fucking money to charity.
I think they couldn't just come out and be like, hey guys, we're giving $1 million to charity. Let's move on.
They had to link it to play somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
But it feels weird, like you guys have to play our games and then we'll give some money. Or
give us money and then we'll give that money to someone else.
Yeah, it doesn't quite compute in my mind.
0.2% of it. But I mean, we can't rag on them. They're giving money to charity.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Good on you. That's cool. FIFA 17. So I skipped through all the Madden, so I don't have anything to say about that. I don't know if you
basically
the Madden.
The Madden.
There's a Madden,
What they did with Madden was they put a bunch of two knobs in particular they put up on the screen, and they were like, "Hey, you there, knob A? What's the deal?" And he's like, "I'm the man." I'm like, he was real outspoken. He's like, "I'm the man at Madden. I'm like the world's best. I take it real seriously." And it shows him like shots of him playing Madden and stuff.
Right.
And then it goes to the next guy, knob B, and he was all
Nobby.
Like
it's from Toy Town.
Yeah, and they were all like, what's your deal? And he's like, like I work hard, blah blah blah. And they were kind of two notable Madden players. Apparently,
So they're esports people.
Apparently, there are notable Madden players.
Job Madden.
And then they use them to segue into this whole like esports thing where they've set up a bunch of tournaments and stuff around the world to
host Madden.
And then I think at the end, the outcome was like, hey, so we are going to give away X amount of prize money to reward our players. So those people who are committing their fucking lives to playing Madden can, buy pies and stuff.
Brilliant. I'm glad I fast forward through all that because it looked like rubbish.
It's the Madden sum up.
I did watch the FIFA 17 part though, because I wouldn't have if it didn't look. They introduced the trailer, and it looks like FIFA 17 has a story now.
Yeah,
it has you start as a young up and comer kind of street kid type, and you build into a career in the Premier League.
So they've always had a player mode where you can start your own player, that kind of thing, but there's never been a story associated with that. You just play through games, and that's kind of that. Whereas this, full-on cutscenes, there's a narrative from what I can see. So that, totally different. I'm not sure if there's been anything like that done. Probably not.
I believe so. Not in FIFA or like recent sports games. As far as I know.
Could be wrong, but
FIFA Street had something like that. It wasn't anything like an actual story, but there was like you were rising through the ranks and that sort of jazz. But
I wonder. I mean, my thought, my ponderings there is like, would it capture anyone who's never played that kind of game?
I mean, I'm interested.
Yeah, I would be more likely to play through a story. But along the same lines, I was thinking like it'd be really interesting if we could somehow get stats once it's come out to see how many people who are FIFA players who skipped all the cutscenes immediately just to get to the next match, and then how many people who were playing it as their first FIFA game, played the campaign, and then didn't go into like the additional career modes and stuff, and that was it. Like,
it looks like a young kid from London, and I think that could be a really interesting story. I'm just thinking of films that feature that, people from Brixton or Hackney and those sorts of areas, kind of thing, like lower socioeconomic areas. I think that would be really cool. I'd definitely be keen on, if it was a really good story and told well, I'd be well keen on that. I'm not sure if I'd buy it.
It's one of those weird things as well to me, where how are they gonna handle it? Like, are they gonna have this really like, you get emotionally invested with this guy's life, like his family, as you said, low income family, like there's problems at home. Is football the only way for, him to have a future? He doesn't have an education and all this shit that people who just want to play football can be like, the fuck is this? But then other people who want the story can be like, oh no, I'm really invested. And then it gets to football and they're like, the fuck is this? So it's really weird.
Who's going to direct the story parts?
David Cage.
What are you going to say, Regan? Sorry.
I was going to say, I wonder how it would react, because obviously there's a story, there's a narrative. Like, what if you're just shy at the game and you can't carry on, because he's obviously meant to be successful. So what if you just kicking it out?
Surely there's a difficulty
where you
would literally have to be incapacitated to fail.
Yeah,
there must be, because they want people to get through it, kind of thing. But do you guys reckon if there's a story mode, there's going to be more than just the football element? Like, are you going to be walking around in your house doing stuff in between it? No?
I don't. I'd say there'll be...
FIFA's going open world.
You know what? It depends on the progression of the campaign. I wouldn't say they would be walking around a world at all. But if at a point in the campaign you went from, player to manager, and as a manager they may be kind of walking around your office and, interacting with, charts and files and stuff to set up your team and everything, and you've got a pin board and I don't fucking know what a football manager's office looks like. I'm picturing like a private detective's office or something. But like a Rolodex. Yeah. Well, let's call Beckham. What's he doing these days?
He's cheap now. I doubt it. I want to say that it'll just be FIFA's player mode where you're sort of in a sort of a third person. Well, it's
what about walking around the locker rooms?
Slapping people's asses with towels.
Getting bullied. Shoved in your own locker.
I'll tell you what I would play. If you started up as like a young up-and-comer and it was open world and you had to jump on the tube and go the Northern Line to Hyde Park, have a kick around or something like that.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Train breaks down.
I'd play that. Oh, no. That's just London Simulator. That sounds awesome.
Would be great.
Yeah.
Go to Croydon.
Amazing.
Some Nando's. So we'll move on from that. We have EA has announced their sort of indie division, I guess, which is called EA Originals. Looks very similar to the UB Art stuff, Rayman and Valiant Hearts and things. And their first game is a Swedish developer, Zoink, I think their name was.
Something like that, yeah.
And their first game is called Fee.
You know what I loved about this? How incredibly nervous
he reminded me of Cold War Studios guy who did Yanni, what's it called?
Yeah, Unravel.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cute. Because there's things are becoming relatively slick now, and they get people out there who have practiced and they're pretty confident. And he came out, and you could tell that these guys were just sitting in their office working on this game, and they got a call from EA one day, and they were like, "Hey guys, we want to give you a shitload of money to help you make this happen." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And then a week later, he's standing on stage at E3, and he's just like,
It's like, I thought it was like quite the 2-bedroom house in Gothenburg and now freaking Los Angeles Convention Center.
Yeah, exactly, and it was awesome. I think that was probably the highlight of my EA conference.
Oh, nice! Yeah. That's very cool. I think the game looks very interesting. I'm keen to see. It looks very unique, and you can communicate with the forest, kind of Avatar-y. You plug yourself into the not Avatar Last Airbender, the thingy's Avatar, Titanic guy. What's his name? James Cameron.
Yeah,
Jimmy Cameron. It looks kind of similar to that. You use sound to communicate and stuff. Just a whole bunch of ideas that I haven't really seen played out in video game before. Yeah. So well keen on that.
Cool idea.
It's good. Yeah. I can't wait to see what else. Other EA originals. I'm sure they've got a bunch in the work.
Yeah, you would think so.
They'll have a whole bunch of little studios under their wing, which is either a good thing or a bad thing. We'll have to wait and see.
A lot of these games would probably go unnoticed. And
yeah, true. Very, very true.
If they're getting EA's might behind them, at least as far as the publishing side of things.
Yeah.
Fucking go for gold.
Yeah, I'd love to see a documentary or something as to how Zoink got picked up. That'd be
great.
Let's make it.
Let's not make it. I don't know how to make a documentary.
Oh no, I don't want to make it.
Oh.
I was just like, let's make it as in the royal
That's
you
the
guys,
world.
not me. Anyone else.
Someone out there, make it.
Someone with talent.
And I'll watch it.
We can skip over this next one, I think.
The Star Wars montage.
What a load of shit.
Well, yeah, what a disappointment that was. That first sequence where that guy's working on his tablet, shot of in his sweet apartment.
Yeah.
Looking over probably LA, I'm not too sure, and the droids just come in. I was just like, too much money. Where's the game? They spent all their money on CGIing Death Stars and Star Destroyers and things into the frickin' promo montage, and like no money on the games by the look of things, because we got about 6 seconds of gameplay footage from Amy Hennig's Space Star Wars RPG, which I predicted would appear in the Sony conference. So I'm pretty gutted about that, because that's all we got. That's it.
Half a point though. You predicted it would appear.
I did. Yeah. I'm happy about that. So the Visceral game turned up. The other Star Wars games. What else did we have there? We had the Battlefront
Star Wars, the Lego one.
The Lego one. Yep. Force Awakens Lego.
Yeah. Which looked okay.
It looked fine. It just looks like a Lego.
Yeah, another Lego Star Wars game. It's going to be alright, but nothing to write home about.
Oh snap. I don't know how to move on from that. No, Star Wars. What else? What other Star Wars games did we see there? So we had
I only recall the Battlefront VR.
I believe there was one about holochess.
Actually, to be honest, I missed the whole Star Wars section. So.
Okay. Well, yeah, I can barely remember it because it was so immemorable.
All right, fuck it. Let's move on.
I just remember the massive CG things over LA and Seattle, and
I don't remember any game whatsoever footage from that montage.
There was 6 seconds of the Visceral one. There's a guy going through a doorway, some TIE fighters come over, and then that's it. That's it. That's literally it. So yeah, but rubbish. You could have done more than that. You've got like 5 Star Wars games in the works that all have potential. Get us excited about them.
Yeah. Battlefield 1.
Yes, Battlefield 1. So this was hilarious. So they showed Battlefield 1. The first, very weird way to show this off. They showed the first 10 seconds of the trailer. They stopped the trailer. They talked about it for about 20 seconds, and then they played the rest of the trailer. But they didn't start the trailer where they stopped it. They started from the start. So you see the guy almost get tinnitus from the thing going off by his ear again. You see that twice. And you're just like,
what? It sounds to me like a balls up.
I don't know.
Like it wasn't meant to start with the trailer.
Yeah.
They were given the direction to just walk out on stage, so they started walking out on stage. The trailer had already started playing. They're like, we got to cut this. We got to cut the trailer out.
And then we'll get to Microsoft, but they played the same trailer.
Yeah.
It's just like, my God, is this what about? Is this Groundhog Day? What's going on?
I feel like there's just not. Yeah, I mean, either that game is really big and they're backing it to be the next big thing.
Yeah.
Or there's just not that much going on.
It looks pretty cool from what I saw. Like I watched. They didn't really show. I don't think they showed any gameplay actually at the EA Con or the Microsoft one, but they did have that big stream afterwards where they had 32v32.
Oh, I didn't see it. Did you watch that?
I watched some footage of it. Yeah, so they had like Snoop Dogg and Zac Efron and
right.
all your usual suspects. I don't know why they had this. Snoop Dogg, he loves games, so yeah. Zac Efron and Jamie Foxx. It cut to them. It showed them, and they're like, "Oh, yep." So, what do you guys think about the definitive World War I experience? And they literally said, Zac Efron said, "Oh yeah, we're jazzed." like with that sort of emotion in his voice. And then they both did like a bro shake, and then it cut away.
You can't blame him for that. That's his emotional range.
It was just odd. Like EA just doesn't. They don't get it. We'll get to Sony about how they get their audience. Like if they get it, EA doesn't get it, man. Like it's ridiculous. But Battlefield 1 looks awesome. It looks really cool. I saw some footage of like the blimp that there's the big thing. They're Colossus or Goliaths.
Yeah, you can actually drive these vehicles.
Yeah, it's massive, great blimp, and I saw it coming down, and it looked awesome. It looked real cool. So yeah, Battlefield 1 looks.
I feel like driving a blimp in a game would be boring as shit.
Well, GTA had a blimp, and it was boring as shit.
Yeah, slowest fucking thing.
You call it on your cell phone. You can get blimp delivery, and it's still boring. It's there within like 10
off,
seconds.
You spend 5 minutes moving 5 feet, and then you're like, fuck it, and dive out.
The parachuting out of it is the best part.
Yeah, exactly. Get away from
it. And then just watching it slowly sink to the ground again, but not crash, just like slowly lower and land.
Just like the Hindenburg.
And that kind of wrapped up.
EA,
didn't it?
That was it. It was pretty underwhelming, but it was better than another conference.